All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, rocking it solo today with the post-game wrap-up. One Bar is apparently somewhere having Christmas with his in-laws, probably having a horrible time. Just as horrible time as all his Vikings fans would have watched the Vikings lose 33-27, the Chicago Bears, dropping the Vikings to 6-8, and all but crushing and dashing our playoff dreams. It really doesn't matter. This team was going to get to the playoffs. They weren't going anywhere. This defense is a shit show. This defense is disgusting. And this defense is the reason they lost the game today. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just talk this thing through. Really, though, the game started out pretty well. Vikings forced the Bears to punt. I think they even had a sack of Mitch Trubisky. Todd frickin' Davis. Todsky back there making the play, sacking the quarterback. And then the Vikings get the ball back. What do they do? First play, Cousins is sacked. The O-line has been a major issue the last couple games, just playing horrible. I think this was, I don't know, it was a couple guys coming to Dakota Dozier. He didn't really have a chance. And then Cook gets stuffed, then he runs one. The Vikings punt it right back. So you have a big stop. You can't build off of it. You can't get anything going. And, of course, Bears get the ball back. They march down the field and score. Just some lapses in coverage here. That first drive the Bears had, Jeff Gladney blowing some coverage. Chris Jones, he really shouldn't be out on the field. Just the space they gave Allen Robinson at times was damn near laughable. I mean, why are you not having two guys on Allen Robinson? You know Mitch Trubisky loves throwing the ball. He's the Bears' best playmaking threat, and he's just left wide open time and time again. Darnell Mooney ended up scoring on a Mitch Trubisky pass, but the Vikings did come back and answer, making this thing, knotted up. Kirk Cousins drove the team down the field. Dalvin Cook, as bad as the Vikings O-line played today, Dalvin Cook was finding room on the ground. He ended up finishing with 24 carries for 132 yards and a touchdown. Ran hard. He would get stuffed one play, then he'd be able to bust off a decent one. He ended up with a 5.5 yards per carry average, which isn't too horrible, especially against a defense like the Bears. So, again, Dalvin Cook, hell of a job. So let's just keep going with the first half here. Bears end up going up 10-7. The big play here, I really think, is after the Bears go up 17-7, the Vikings get the ball back, end up with a 3rd and short, try to convert, and then they're lining up to punt, and I believe there was a timeout by the Bears or something if they thought the Vikings were going to fake it. I don't know what was going on there. They called timeout, and then Vikings changed their mind, decided to go for it. I think was this that really weird handoff they gave to Dalvin Cook. Anyway, they get stuffed. Bears get the ball back. You're basically giving them 3 points right there on a short field, which is what they got. They got 3 points, making it 20-7. The Vikings are able to come back before the half, get a 3 of their own, making this a 20-10 game. I believe this was the play where Irv Smith, easy drop. I mean, it was right there. Cousins kind of threw it late, so I don't know if he didn't know the ball was coming, but I mean, Irv, it hit you in the belly. You got to catch the damn ball. I do think Kirk Cousins' back foot was behind the line of scrimmage, so he would not have been flagged for that throw. Again, and that drop by Irv Smith proved to be very, very costly, the way this thing would shake out. So anyway, at the half, the Vikings are down 20-10. The way the defense is playing, it feels like so much more. It just feels like an insurmountable lead because every time the Bears got the ball, hand up to David Montgomery, and he's just getting huge yards at a time. Montgomery on the day actually averaged, it was only 4.6 yards to carry, but he did have 32 touches, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Vikings' run defense, so horrible. Without Eric Kendricks in there and just with the 2 turds in the middle, Shamar Stephen, Jalil Johnson, just given nothing. The Bears could just run it at will, and that was the difference in this game. The Vikings defense just did not show up. And even though it was only a 20-10 score, it just felt like so much more. But that being said, Vikings did drive down. Dalvin Cook scores a touchdown, 2017 game. Of course, the Bears get it right back, score David Montgomery, 14-yard touchdown run. I believe this is the one where we just could not tackle him. Just some real poor effort. Chris Jones The guy just can't tackle. Just horrible, tough to watch. Dan Bailey ends up getting a field goal, making it 27-20. Bears again, as the Vikings cannot stop the Bears' juggernaut of an offense, go back and get another field goal, 30-20. Vikings are able to get it to 30-27 late on a beautiful Tyler Conklin first touchdown of his career. Conklin coming to play. This guy caught the ball and then just rumbled and bumbled and stumbled, would not go down. It was a hell of a run by Tyler Conklin. Very impressive, his first career touchdown, making it 30-27. And then the Bears, of course, they drive back down the field. You know, I mean, you've seen it. Their worst case, you're going to get a field goal, go up by 6 at this point. But no, Mitch Trubisky throws it in the end zone. Cameron Dantzler intercepts it. Vikings still alive. And, of course, what do? They go 4-0. What team in the NFL in this day and age, in that situation, does not at least pick up a first down and drive down the field? I would say even the New York Jets could do that. Minnesota Vikings could not go 4 plays, get the ball right back to the Bears, who end up kicking a field goal, making it 33-27. And the Vikings get the ball back, drive down the field, go for the Hail Mary, which BC Johnson seemed to have a shot at. He was like the only guy there. I don't know if he jumped too late and someone came over the top. Can't remember who it was, Roquan Smith or somebody swatted it away. But it was there to be had. The Vikings, they blow their chances to have any hope for the postseason right now. They are 6-8. Maybe there's still some weird backwater way, like I said in the pregame, to get into the playoffs, but it doesn't matter. This team is not a playoff team. This defense is horrible. If they got into the playoffs, there's no way in hell they'd win a game. They can't stop anybody. You can't stop the run. Very questionable pass coverage, and also just a lack of a pass rush overall. This team has plenty of problems. Hopefully, though, they can come back and beat the Saints. That would be like a little bit of another mini Super Bowl. Beating the Packers was the first one. Beating the Saints would be a delicious treat for the Vikings on Christmas Day. But you really look at this team, look at this defense. How the hell can that happen? It ain't likely. Very, very unlikely. So, yeah, I don't know. Vikings at this point, looking at their projected record, 7-9 seems very realistic. 8-8 seems like a pipe dream. So, yeah, Mitch Trubisky doing what he does, owning the Minnesota Vikings. But to me, this game was lost on the Vikings defense, just their inability to stop Dave Montgomery. And, again, it goes back to not having Michael Pierce, not having Dylan Hunter, not having Eric Kendricks, not having Anthony Barr, and having young corners. And, you know, I mean, Chris Jones should not be on an NFL field. Said it before. I don't care if his brother is commenting. Chris Jones, he rubs. Can't sugarcoat it. All right, so let's move on. Let's just try to forget this game. Hope it doesn't ruin anybody's Christmas. I really hope it doesn't, because the Vikings, you know, the 6-7 team, I hope no one is that hard enough a believer where you're going to let this team losing to the Bears ruin your festive holiday season. I sure as hell ain't. No way. All right, so let's talk about the turd of the game first, because I think we should end on whatever high note we can try to find here. So who is the turd of the game? Well, I've mentioned his name a couple times. It's Chris Jones. What kills me about this guy, not only does he suck covering a wide receiver, but he can't tackle. When you have Allen Robinson dead to rights, and somehow he gets around you and you dive and you miss, and Robinson goes for an extra 15 yards, it's embarrassing. It's something the Vikings fans aren't used to seeing, that poor of tackling. Just figure it out, man. Make a damn tackle. Chris Jones, you are my turd of the game. But let me just say this. There is plenty of guys who also could who have earned that title today. But, yeah, it is Chris Jones. No doubt about that. So now let's move on to our stud of the game. A couple nominees here. I mean, you can make a case for Tyler Conklin, make a case for Justin Jefferson, and obviously you got to make a case for Delvin Cook. But I'm not going to go with any of those guys. That's way too easy for me. I'm going to go on the defensive side of the football, and I know I ripped on the defense, and they were the reason the Vikings lost this game today. Just a shit show from top to bottom. But one guy who did come to play, it was Uncle Todd Davis. 8 tackles, 1 sack, a tackle for a loss. Todd Davis, he showed up today. He did his damn best to make the Vikings win this game. Led the team in tackles, or not tackles, well, I guess 4 solo tackles, but the tackle for a loss. Todd Davis showed up when barely any other Vikings defensive players did. So Todd Davis, you are my stud of the game, even though you played on the side of the ball that pretty much gave us the loss. So Vikings dropped to 6-8. Again, Saints coming up on Christmas Day. You got the Lions after that. This really smells like a 7-9 team to me, which is probably where they should be, just with all the issues they've had on both sides of the ball. Before I do wrap this up, I should make sure I do mention Dan Bailey. Perfect on the day. I think he had 2 field goals and all his extra points, or 1 field goal and extra points. I don't know, man. He goes from missing everything to hitting everything. He was actually in consideration for stud of the day. So Dan Bailey, well done. Way to overcome your case of the yips. I don't know if you took a pill for that. Maybe it was something you had to swallow, like Pepto-Bismol. Whatever it was, Dan Bailey looked damn good today. So I'm pretty sure he'll be your Vikings kicker moving forward. Do not expect a change there. Next season is a different story, but Dan Bailey, well done. All right, to wrap this thing up, again, Vikings dropped to 6-8. Playoff hopes all but dead. And all we can really do now is just enjoy the last 2 games. No pressure. Hopefully we have some fun. Let's just see what Justin Jefferson can do, see what the young corners can do. Maybe DJ Wanham can wake up and get past Yannick Ngakwe's 5-sack number. Take over that lead. But until then, guys, be sure to follow us this week. Will actually be boom, 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 a short week. Schooling with the Enemy will probably be like on a Tuesday. We'll have a couple of vids before the game, so be sure to check us out this week. Until then, remember this. It took 73 years to find the wreck of the Titanic. Near, far, wherever you are. And also, remember to keep your skull in your hole.